Hello and welcome to Wealdhurst Model Railway. I'm Chris and this is the first video of a brand new channel designed to document all of the trials and tribulations for anybody that would want to watch them of me building my very first model railway layout. Now, I'm not a seasoned modeller. I'm not even really a long-standing or long-term enthusiast on railways or model railways. I am a historian. In future videos I'll be going into how I managed to fall into this hobby that I've got into now. But for today I just wanted to put a quick video together on just showing really the area that I'm working in, some of the things that I've already put together on the layout, and also some future plans that I intend to put into fruition in the near future. There will be some more detailed videos around certain elements of the layout. I'm planning to do a video on transition curves, which will outline how I've made mine so far and the method that I use to put them together. I'll also do some more videos around the back scenes that I've painted. You may see some of them already in the background there. And also I'm in the process of scratch building completely from scratch, my first ever scratch built model. I'm currently modelling a cattle platform, a livestock platform for the layout, which will go somewhere around here. You can't see it, but it's down there. I've been filming that all along, so you'll be able to see how I've built that when I've finished it and I've put the video together. So let's get on with a quick tour of the space, and we can take it from there. So first things first, this is the entire space. It's in my loft. It's quite a decent space. I think it's around, if you were to measure it all around, I think it's between 20 and 25 feet. So there's quite a lot of room up here to build, particularly as it's my first attempt. The baseboards themselves are around 3 or so feet wide and 7 or so feet long on each of these kind of edges here. They're slightly narrower on the far and the near edges, but it's the same over the other side, 3 feet or so there. As you can see, there's not a lot going on at the moment. This really is brand new. I've partially built one of the first lines around the edge, which will be one of the up and down passenger lines. So you can see that I've kind of built from there just out of the station. I'll be going into the station in a moment, but I'm still laying the caulk around the outside of the layout. There you can see the markings for the transition curves, which I mentioned earlier, which I'll do a separate video on. But there's plenty of space which can be used whatever I can think up, really. I haven't got plans for every square inch of this. I've got some ideas, but I'm sure we'll find ways of filling these things as we go along. Now, one of the things you've no doubt picked up already is the back scenes. So all of these back scenes have been hand painted by myself. Again, I will stress that I'm not an artist. I'm a seasoned modeller of any description, so this is very much a first effort, really, in general, for me. But I just wanted to get some kind of background in terms of, a kind of early summer, late spring, early summer sky, with some clouds in there. As you can see in the station area, there's some background greenery as well, but I'll go into that in a moment. But these are basically just built out of board and hand painted and arranged around the edge of the layout. It's not all been fixed in place yet. There's still some loose edges, but that will be fixed in when we get to the landscaping stage of that particular area. So the baseboards themselves have been built out of ply into the rafters of the or the loft rafters themselves. There are some supporting legs in there as well, just to take some of the pressure of the weight off of the boards. I didn't really want to put everything on the beams up here, even though I'm not expecting it to be too heavy. And you'll see here I've already, at the request of my youngest, put in an area which will be a river scene when it's built up. So you can see I've already built a couple of bridges. I did these quite a long time ago, but there is a slightly lowered area there between the two baseboards, which will be become a river basically. So I will have landscaped river banks that come down from each side, and I will build a river scene in the middle of there with lots of additional scenery to really fill in that detail. Even though I've got two identical bridges built here, I'm only going to use one of them. I think I'll use that bridge there to carry the passenger traffic across. I've got a different bridge which has currently not been built yet, which will take the freight line. I'll go into the different lines in future videos, but I've got a different style of bridge which will be more in the foreground here to take the freight line when that's built, just to give a bit of difference and a different feel in that area. So now we get into the station area that I've already begun to build. So, as in many other things I've already described, I will be going into more detail into the plans for the station and a bit of history around it, really, a bit of background as to how it has come to look the way it looks at the moment. But you can see already that generally there will be an up and down passenger line running on this area here, and this will be a separate freight line. So currently this runs through the middle, past the goods shed and past the coal office, and it will run around the whole length of the layout. So there'll be 3 running lines. Now you can see there the old carriage there will be the coal office. They'll have some more detail around that. Just to build that up, this all will be fenced off. I'm going to build some fences to fence this area off here. You can see the coal area there, and all of this here is the goods area. And this, I mentioned earlier on, I'm building a livestock platform that's going to go into this area around here, and this is the road leading up to it. So I scratch built it particularly just to fit there. I've already started detailing some of the things here, but I'll go into it in another video at another time. But you can see there's going to be a station master's garden there leading onto the path, and you can see, well, hopefully you can see there the disused line, which I will go into in terms of how that's become disused and why that's there in a later video. So you can see there as well that I've painted in the back scenes. Really, I mean, I've gammed the sky, but the back scenes are really just done with yellow and black paint, and it's just, I never use green. I never use green in my back scenes. I only ever use yellow and black, and it produces this kind of varied colour in terms of green. So you can basically, the way using different brush strokes and different stippling effects, so you can create foreground and background. And I think it just kind of blends in quite nicely with the with the trees in the foreground there. I think these still need some work, but yeah, I think I'm quite pleased with the way it's panned out at the moment, the way it's looking at the moment. So we'll just build on that. So just to fulfil the mantra of all the gear and no idea, I obviously asked for a nice Southern Railways liveried sign for Wealdhurst before Wealdhurst even existed. I've always got my priorities nicely in order, as you can see. What I did want to talk about for this area, this blank area here, I really want to have some kind of play factor in terms of an industrial area. I'm really looking forward to being able to build in a really kind of grubby looking 1930s industrial area, probably a brewery and a factory area in this spot here. So I'm hoping to bring in some more elements of play in terms of sidings, etc. for the freight route, so that there'll be some opportunity to shunt some stock around, some rolling stock around in those sidings. So that's one thing I am definitely planning on doing. This end piece over here, I'm not so sure. I did intend to have I was thinking about modelling the old Folkestone halt, the Warren halt here, but it didn't really fit with the area that I'm in. I'll go into the history of Wealdhurst and where I'm fitting it in a later video, but I can't make my mind up really what to do here. I'm thinking about maybe putting some high ground here and just having all the lines running under some long tunnels, and just build all of this up to maybe kind of this height all the way across, and just have tunnel entrances on each side, and this would be some built up area and maybe some scenic farmland on it, which I think would be quite good. I do like the idea of having the trains kind of disappearing into a tunnel into the landscape at some point, so they're not always visible. I think that always looks good. So not really finalised that yet, but that's what's in my mind at the moment. So in terms of control, I've got these Hornby 2000s and 2000 plus controllers. I built a little control platform there just in front of the station. It's all just wired across into the mains at the moment, but you can see in terms of alternative product, I've got drawers and drawers and drawers of inspiration, let's put it that way. Lots of stuff that we need to that we can draw on to put to some use, and this is my rolling stock drawer here at the moment. This is the first one I pull out, is an Oxford rail. This is, I'm not sure actually what this is. I think it's an M7, which I'm intending to use to pull some freight. And I've got, this is one of my favourites, one of my Lord Nelson Backmans. Again, I'll go into the rolling stock in a specific video, but this is where it's all kept. Boxes and boxes and boxes of track, and this is all my landscaping product down here in these boxes. So again, all the gear and not much of an idea, so we'll see where it all leads. Yeah, but at the moment this is what we've got. This is what we've got to work with. As you can see, I've made some progress, and you may have watched the teaser video I put up a week ago from now, and I had to put all of that together just using this 3 foot really of active track that I've got, which is why it looked a bit repetitive. But in the next 2 weeks my plan is to complete the caulking of all of this first loop around the edge of the layout, and to complete that loop, so then I'll have at least one complete running track that I can run rolling stock around, and that will be a huge breakthrough. So when I achieve that, it's not an if, it's a when. I'm going to do it in the next 2 weeks. If it kills me in the process, when I've done that, expect to see a big breakthrough video being posted here, just to document the first running loop at Wealdhurst. So yeah, so that's as far as we are at the moment. I hope that gives you an idea of what we're intending to do and where we're going with things. And yeah, and please keep an eye out for some videos in the next, or some more videos in the next week or so. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch this, and we hope we can grow this layout very quickly. So thank you for staying and watching our first video. I hope that gave you an idea of where we are so far and what some of our plans are. Please keep an eye out for any subsequent videos that come out. I intend to bring a few out this week, and hopefully we can have the big breakthrough of completing that first loop in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, thanks a lot again, and I'll see you all soon.